Welcome to deep space. Coordinates? Undisclosed. Date? Uncertain. Mission? Classified. You've emerged from hypersleep with no memories of anything, only the knowledge and skills necessary to perform your assigned tasks. Your own past life is as much a mystery to you as the ship that you now inhabit. The rest of the crew is no better off, wandering through empty corridors like wayward, discarded things. Movement teases at the very cusp of your vision, fleeing from your glancing eyes. An alarm wails, ripping your attention away from the torturous vacuum of your mind. There are no answers here. This is the place that questions go to die. Welcome aboard the Pillar of Salt. All right, Security Officer's Log, Wednesday, November the 4th. It is currently 9:47 in the morning. Today, we're going to search again for some way to rouse the crew, which means visual surveys of a few of the other stasis compartments. But, first, before that, we're going to take inventory of how much food we have and approximately how long that will last us. We could probably ask the computer, but as there's nothing breaking right now and not a lot really to assign, Dr. Keene and I have agreed that it's probably best to use this as a non-mystery related job in order to occupy everyone and keep morale up as much as is possible when, no one's entirely certain that their name is actually their name. Also, I'm a little concerned. It seems like there's a lot of issues with memory banks and data and things of that sort. And sometimes I almost wonder if it's actually there to be accessed. So just on the off chance that there was also a glitch in the inventory system, we're going to go ahead and take stock anyway, just to be safe. Also on the agenda is to continue worrying about this Delta Alpha Niner Niner numbers Beta object that we are on an interception and retrieval vector with. The computer says that we should reach that in, about how long now, computer?
The Pillar of Salt will rendezvous with stellar object Delta Alpha Niner Niner 2370 Beta in approximately 27 hours, 10 minutes. Retrieval is projected to occur at 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon.
Right then. We've actually been slowing into a sublight arc for some time now, or that's what Charlie says has been happening. We still can't access any of the navigational logs, but he says that we've probably been slowing for a week at least to be so deep into impulse, as he said. So we're slowing down, I guess, so that we can retrieve this thing safely. But I guess that's self-evident. The nav officer is one of the two other bridge officers who aren't, sleeping a little more deeply than the rest of the crew. So waking him has been made a priority. He might be able to extrapolate a little about our situation. So, given the current trend, we're probably not going to be able to wake him up. Or he's not going to remember how to navigate, or he just won't have access to anything he could use to figure out where we are. The navigation officer not being cleared to access navigation would, that would track with everything else around here. Sorry. Wish these flickers would leave me alone. It's very unnerving. Anyway, I am pleased to report that, according to Dr. Reimer, in about 15 hours, we will move out of the dangerous proximity with that quasar, or whatever it is, and no longer have to worry about our shields potentially fizzling out and our systems beginning to malfunction again. I wasn't entirely aware that we were still worried about that, so, it's good to know that life support should keep working. I personally enjoyed knowing that I'll have air to breathe in 10 minutes' time. Never a dull moment on this ship, except for all of the empty time we spend wishing we knew enough to know what exactly needs done. The crew's uneasy.
as am I. As we all should be, I'm feeling more and more lost all the time. Something feels... I don't feel like myself. Less and less, I feel like myself, which I know is ironic coming from somebody who can't remember who he is, but everything hurts. It's like it's not moving correctly. My joints aren't moving correctly, and it's like I don't fit inside of my own body. Physically, I feel less and less like myself. Maybe I'll talk to Miller about it later today. I don't even know if she could do anything about it. Probably can't. I'm probably just losing my mind. What little bit of it I have. Anyway, no luck yet with movies. We've got some, planned maintenance the day after tomorrow that, Charlie briefed me on earlier, and I've already, forgotten. I can't function. They keep talking to me like I'm in charge, and I have no idea what the hell to do. Things are going to start breaking any moment now. I just know it. Hopefully it's things and not people. Anyway, gonna meet in the crew's mess to begin that inventory here in a few minutes. So, until later, I'm gonna sign off. Computer, stop recording. All right. Well, that job took the better part of the day. So, it turns out we have plenty of food, which is very good, since we could have definitely been sent out into deep space with next to nothing. You know, considering we are presumably supposed to be in stasis right now. Mostly, we have breaks of raw nutrients that go through various machines and sequencers to form what I guess must be at least halfway decent approximations of myriad real non-synthetic foodstuffs. Not sure how I feel about learning that my cheesesteak sandwich comes from the same basic components and almost the same exact process as Officer Miller's tofu salad. I'm also not sure why anyone would willingly choose tofu when the meat is already fake meat, but I guess she likes the taste? Anyway, we inventoried the food supply, and even though the computer insisted that it could just tell us, and then it told us how much there was and how long it would last if the surviving crew members were all awake, among other projections. And, anyway, we have 50 years worth of food if we had a full crew, which we don't, and which we can't, because a full third of them are dead. I mean, sleeping a little too deeply. We also learned today that some of our more lightly sleeping crew members are, well, not human. I guess the stasis compartments are segregated by species for, medical reasons. Different biological processes and all that, I guess. Miller and I went to do a visual check of one of the other stasis compartments and found it to be full of crew members of a couple different races, which surprised me momentarily, but actually felt right anyway. Immediately, a flood of information came into the front of my mind about... more flickers. Anyway, a flood of information about alliances and peace treaties, scientific collectives. Nothing really about specific corporate entities that would be eccentric enough to name a ship the Pillar of Salt. But, you know, we'll take that when we can get it. I'm not sure how to pronounce most of the race names, species names, whatever the hell the correct term is. I'm a security officer, not a politician. Everything hurts. Everything hurts so much. Nothing fits. Why does nothing... Computer? Computer, what the hell is that?
That alarm indicates a critical failure with one of the fusion reactors, Officer Axel. In particular, the fault is with aft reactor 3. Sensors are reading increased levels of radiation in the insular chamber surrounding the primary containment shell. This is indicative of a major breach.
Damn it, computer, get Charlie on that now!
Log note. Security Officer Riddlehammer has left the range of the active microphone. Ending recording.
So, small emergency earlier. We had a reactor breach. Well, not a reactor breach exactly. Rather a breach of secondary shielding around aft reactor 3. We were able to plug that up with minimal damage to other systems and no injury to personnel, thanks to the very rapid and professional response displayed by the crew, of which I am very proud. There wasn't a lot for anyone besides Officer Smith to do, but they were all standing by at a safe distance in hard-cased hazardous environment vacuum suits, which all of us donned with an almost unnerving familiarity. I found myself actually running down the corridors toward the aft reactor and then pulling on one of the suits before I really processed what I was doing. Muscle memory took over, I guess. According to Dr. Keene, the rest of the crew also reported a sense of habituality about the process. I guess that means we were pretty heavily trained, even if we don't remember it. Not really sure how to feel about that. Fortunately, the reactor compartments are equipped with a number of robotic maintenance machines, robots, mechs, I don't know, mechanics. Hell, they're robots that fix shit. But they aren't automatic. They have to be manually activated, apparently, and Charlie is the only guy who can do that. So, good thing he's awake, I guess. One would think something like that would be automated, but I guess they didn't exactly build this place with the comfort and nerves of the crew in mind. So, yeah, a very narrow escape there from the incredible pain of radiation poisoning. Or, I guess, a much quicker death by having our hair and teeth melted while radiation vaporized the rest. Pretty sure that's how radiation works. I'm sure Dr. Reimer would inform me of how wrong I am, and that it's actually much more gruesome, but that really doesn't matter. Anyway, Charlie says that the breach was brewing for a while. There really should be some sort of warning, some sort of schedule. If there is, I bet it's classified. Hopefully nothing else comes out of the blue at us like that. For additional, more detailed information, please see the official incident report attached to this log. Hopefully, we'll eventually get somewhere we can send that to someone to read. That'd be great. If I wasn't just talking to myself while the computer listened in. Don't chime in on that. Don't say anything. Computer? Oh. Anyway, tomorrow we get to collect a mystery space object, so that'll be a fun outing. I plan on meeting it with Drs. Reimer and Keene. I wouldn't have thought to have Dr. Keene accompany us, but she asked, and I can't think of any reason not to let her. I guess we'll see if maybe astrophysics and psychology combined can make heads or tails of what it is. Maybe figure out something about what the hell we're supposed to be doing out here. God, it feels like the plot of some cheesy as hell indie horror movie. I feel like it's going to be an artifact of some sort. I guess that's really why I was glad to let her join. I was very happy she'd asked. Not sure why a psychologist would be much help there, but she says she has dabbled in anthropology and ancient cultures and stuff, and can remember a fair bit of the facts about that, if not necessarily learning them, or any experiences connected to them. So maybe it'll look like something to her. Maybe she can identify a specific culture, and we can use that to figure out where we are and how to get somewhere, anywhere. It'd be a starting point anyway. Maybe I just want her out there to keep me from going crazy. The thought of that damn thing just makes me more and more uneasy all the time. My gut is about all I got out here that I can lean on real hard, so I don't know. Well, Dr. Keene also mentioned at dinner that she wanted to speak with me in my quarters around 9 o'clock, and it's 8:57 now. So I guess I'll sign off again. Computer, stop recording. Well, Dr. Keene finally just left, after a very long discussion. She said that a few of the other crew members have, reported seeing things that shouldn't be there, that, can't be there. Obviously, they told her in confidence, so, as she is not yet suspicious that they pose any danger due to insanity or anything like that, she is not at liberty to tell me which of the other three it was, although I suspect it was all of them. But she did admit to also seeing a few things herself. So, we ran multiple, very extensive scans of the ship and found no additional life signs, aside from our own. At least none that aren't in stasis and almost unreadable. So, nothing out of the ordinary, such as it is. But we are remaining vigilant. I couldn't bring myself to tell her about the flickers. They only seem to happen when I'm alone with my thoughts, so I still don't know if, if anyone else can, see them. I don't know what exactly the rest of the crew is seeing, but from what she said, it doesn't seem like it's quite the same as what I'm seeing. So, maybe that's just me. I mean, it's pretty well defined. When I look at it and can catch enough of a glimpse, it's very easy to tell that it's like this dark, wispy smoke. She said they described things like movement that shouldn't be there. Maybe a hint of a figure going around a corner, only to find the hallway empty. Among other things. Anyway, I suggested that she consult with Dr. Reimer to see if maybe we're passing through some sort of space, celestial, radio, stellar graphic, energy field stuff, or whatever other science shit could be causing us to see things that aren't there. She said she would do that first thing in the morning. It seemed remotely possible. Though she didn't seem like she felt it was very likely. I would be tempted to assume that we're all just having similar hallucinations as some sort of side effect of the emergency wake-up from hypersleep. Except, I don't think she would have brought it up to me unless she thought that they might not just be hallucinations. I mean, she is a psychologist, right? It's her job to know about that, and I think she would have addressed that directly, rather than helping me run 1,000 security scans in search of some sort of breach. If it was extremely likely, or very likely at all, that it was rather a psychological thing. Anyway, it's almost midnight, and I just can't anymore tonight. But I've set the computer to record any movement or thermal anomalies or anything similar on the internal sensors that don't seem to correspond to any of the crew members, and to submit a report to me in the morning. For now, there's no concrete evidence for anything physical actually being there, so I guess there's no reason to let flickers or shadows make me lose any more sleep than they already have. So, this is today's security officer, Axel Rottelheimer, signing off for the night. Computer, end recording. Thank you for listening to the Pillar of Salt podcast. This episode, entitled Taking Stock, featured me, Cody Hilson, as the voice of Security Officer Axel, and Josiah Savage as the voice of the shipboard computer. This episode also featured an original score by the intransigent Josiah Savage and audio mixing by the indelible Michelle Fuller. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review letting us know what you thought, and keep an eye out for episode 4, Artifact, which will release in about 3 weeks. In the meantime, you can follow our Facebook group, RGD Pillar of Salt, for updates and announcements about the show. Want to help with preventative maintenance of Aft Reactor 3? Join our crew over at patreon.com/Pillar of Salt. Our patrons get access to exclusive content like concept art, episode transcripts, and even early access to new episodes. See you around the ship, and let's keep on avoiding radiation poisoning, okay? Okay.